Oh my god. Pablo wants his hand. You puppy boy. Look at him. Hey guys, welcome back to another freaking video. So today we're going to be discussing and talking about what to look for in a Doberman breeder. We're going to be talking about responsible breeding and what some red flags that you should look out for. And I feel like this video was pretty highly requested again as well. A lot of people always ask me what breeders I recommend or where can I look for a reputable breeder. So in this video I wanted to touch base on a lot of your guys' questions that you had about different breeders and where to look for one and all that good stuff. So if that sounds interesting, of course, just keep on watching. A little disclaimer, again, this is my personal experience and it is obviously there's no right, no wrong or anything. So the number one thing that I look for any animal is health tests. And that means that both mom and dad have to be fully health tested. But a lot of breeders say that their dog is Von Wildebrandt clear or DCM1 clear, DCM2 clear. And that does not necessarily mean that they brought their dog to a vet and they did a full physical exam and did all the full health tests. That literally just means that it's a DNA test. So what are you looking for when I say health tests? So you're not looking for DNA tests. I mean, it's good and important to have, but what you are looking for is health tests by the OFA. And what the OFA is the Orthopedic Foundation for Animals. If you go on the website, the OFA website, and you, like, let's say for example, Doberman Pinscher, right? So they actually show you the health test requirements and what they recommend. So on the OFA website, they recommended a hip dysplasia OFA evaluation, a cardiac one, since Dobermans are prone to DCM, an autoimmune thyroid one, a von Wildebrandt disease test, a working aptitude test, and an eye examination. So these tests actually have to be done by a veterinarian that is certified. Personally, I wasn't able to go to my general vet for this since he was not certified to do any of these tests. I had to go to a specialty animal hospital. It is very, very specific. There's a lot of paperwork to fill out and you need certain prerequisites before you're able to get these tests done on your dog. So the next thing I wanted to touch base on was pedigree. And pedigree is something that's very, very important, and I feel like if you're looking for a prospective Doberman puppy, it is very, very important to look at both of the parents' pedigree and where they came from, what their lineage looks like, how healthy they are, all that good stuff. And my favorite resource to look at Doberman pedigree is this website called doberbase.ru. I believe it is a European or Russian website since it is .ru. I'm pretty sure it only applies to European Dobermans. Maybe they have some American Dobermans on there, but it's a primarily like a European Doberman website. Pretty much if you type in a registered dog, it will usually most likely pop up and you can take a look at how many offsprings that dog's had, if there's any like DCM or like deaths from DCM, just like pretty much everything. So I highly encourage you guys to do a deep dive of your prospective puppy's pedigree to see how that looks. Another very important thing to note is also looking for a breeder that breeds within breed standard. And what I mean by that, especially when it comes with Dobermans, is a kennel or a breeder that breeds within the AKC standards or within the FCI standards. But I've been seeing a lot of kennels and a lot of breeders on Instagram, especially breed dogs that are starting, or Dobermans, that are starting to look like Mastiffs or like hyper types or even King Dobermans is what they call it. But they're usually just breeding these dogs specifically for looks and not really for workability or temperament or even health. It's honestly really cruel and it is ruining the breed. Since Dobermans are already prone to so many diseases, they're literally just, I don't know, just making the breed worse. So breeding within breed standards is very important. And also colors. If you see a Doberman, I've seen so many, not to shit on albino Dobermans, I love them, I think they're beautiful, but personally I do not think that they should be around just because of how many health issues there are. If you see a kennel and they're breeding all these, you know, crazy weird colors and they're breeding for color, that is a huge red flag and that is something I would definitely stay away from. And I also wanted to mention just because it is purebred does not mean that it is well bred. That is a very important quote for me, and I feel like it's something that plays a huge factor in this as well. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was making sure that both parents are titled. Titling a dog is very, very important, especially for me. That just shows that the breeder or the kennel is working towards a specific goal with their breeding dogs. So if you're looking for like a working dog, since we're on the topic of Dobermans, if you're looking for a Doberman, you want to make sure that, you know, both parents are titled in like IGP or like have like working titles or something like that. If you're looking for a show dog, it is important for both parents to have, you know, show lineage and all that stuff. But if you're looking for, you know, specifically just like a pet dog, maybe titling might not be super important to you. But I think that titling does show that the kennel actually cares about the sire and the dam, and they're looking for different ways to improve their kennel, and they're always working towards like a goal. Regardless if it's a show line or a working line dog, if it's even just a pet, it's great just to have both parents titled. Another thing that is very important is something called ENS, and that stands for Early Neurological Stimulation. It was developed by US military to produce sounder working dogs. So it pretty much involves introducing puppies to mild stress and produces adult dogs that are more adaptable and have lower heart rates in stressful simulations. Pretty much what I do, pretend this is a kitten or a puppy or whatever, but this is what I do for our kittens. At a very young age is you put them upright for 5 seconds and you put their head down for 5 seconds. You put them on their back for 5 seconds, and I like to do this while they're on their back, I play with their paws with usually like a little Q-tip or like a little poker thing. So I just play with each one of their paws for a couple seconds. You flip them back over and I put them on like a cool paper towel and just put them on there for 5 seconds. And pretty much what this does is it just kind of gets them used to being handled. So I try to handle the kittens, this is just like my personal experience, try to handle the kittens as much as possible when they're pretty young, or not as much as possible, but as much as I'm able to. You do this when they are 3 to 16 days old. I've seen great results with this. A lot of my kittens that leave, they're more confident, they're not really shy, they don't really hide. A lot of my clients or a lot of my friends now that were my clients always tell me that their kittens are pretty much like perfect. They're not scared of everyone. They love being near people. So ENS, or in this case, early canine neurostimulation, is something that you want to look for and making sure that your breeder does or does with them at a young age. All right, so that's pretty much what I expect from the breeders, and kind of what you should expect from yourself is asking breeders questions. So you should be ready with a list of questions to ask your breeders. You should be asking, you know, are both parents on site? Are you able to see both parents? You know, usually mom is on site and dad's not always on site because sometimes they could be co-owned or anything, but see if you're able to visit, you know, mom and dad in person, get to see what they look like, get a feel for, you know, the breeder, ask them questions, pretty much just interview them and see if they're a good fit for you. You should also be able to see the living conditions that the puppies are in. They should be indoors, but I know a lot of, you know, irresponsible breeders that literally just keep their dogs in the backyard all day. So you want to see the living condition that your puppy's coming from, because obviously you want a great puppy with like great health and everything, right? Also, for me personally, if my potential families or clients want to see where the kittens are raised, I literally just show them my office, and I have a kennel. It's actually Draco's kennel now, which I converted into a whelping box for Salem, and I pretty much just show them this whole entire area, and we do like a full FaceTime call, Zoom meet, whatever is more convenient for them, and I pretty much show them like every little thing, what I'm feeding them, what I do for the kittens daily. Everything's very transparent, and I pretty much have an answer for all the questions that they're asking me. So most reputable breeders do have very long wait lists, and that's just how it is. There's a demand, but the supply is obviously not going to be there. That just means that you're working with a really, really good breeder, and there are a bunch of people that want a puppy from them, so I mean, I guess that is a very good sign. But be patient and be prepared to wait, you know, however long it's going to take for you to get a puppy. Usually breeders that have puppies right available, I wouldn't say that's like a huge red flag, but I would just question as opposed to why they have like so many puppies. Reputable breeders will match a puppy to your specific needs. Let's say you want a family dog, you have kids, they will match a puppy that is maybe more on the calm side, that will do great around kids, that is a little bit more tolerable, all that good stuff. You will be probably most likely filling out a puppy application, and if that gets approved, then they will most likely match a puppy for you. You usually don't get to pick a puppy. However, I am speaking from like my own, I guess, past experience. With my kittens, I do not match kittens with their owners just because most of these kittens aren't going into like working homes or like show homes. So I let my clients or my future families, you know, decide, or their future families decide on which kitten that they like best, unless they have like a dog, a big dog or something, and they want another cat, or they want a cat that's like more playful and that will play with the dog, then I will do the matching. But I haven't had to do that in like a really, really long time. So I feel like not all reputable breeders will match, but in the sake of the dog world, I would say yes, most reputable breeders will match you with a puppy that they deem that is fit for you and your lifestyle. Right, so what not to do when looking for a breeder? So I would not look on Craigslist. It's just sketchy. People are literally just breeding dogs in their backyard with no health tests, no titles. They're just trying to get a quick buck pretty much. So when you're picking up your puppy, or when it comes to that time, I'm assuming that you should have established a relationship with your breeder. And I think it's a red flag that if breeders ask to meet in a public location to pick up the puppy, unless it's like the halfway point for you or something. But I personally would like to go into the breeder's home or wherever they're raising the dogs, just so I can see in person the living conditions that the puppies are being raised in. Finally, this is a question that I get almost every single day, and it is, where do I find a reputable breeder? I mean, I feel like I always preach like all this great information and everything, but a lot of people are confused as opposed to where to start. So I have compiled a list for you. So breed clubs, go on the website of the breed clubs. So for example, if you're looking for an American Doberman, you can go on the Doberman Pinscher Club of America website, and there's actually a list of referrals and breeders that you can find on there. They're most likely reputable breeders, but again, ask questions, ask all that good stuff. And so there's a list on there. And then another website is the UDC website. So the UDC website is the United Doberman Club, and it pretty much, it's like for working Dobermans, as you guys can see. It's a pretty cool website, so you guys can take a look at that. There is a list on here of a list of reputable breeders that I would highly recommend taking a look at if you're looking for a working line or a European Doberman. Also would highly recommend going to dog shows, or just, you know, like there's like Facebook groups and stuff too that you can join for specific dog breeds. So definitely check those out. And then also AKC also hosts this thing called the Meet the Breeds. I'm not sure how often they do the event, but if you look on the website, I'm sure there's different days and times and everything when they're hosting those again. The last way to find a reputable breeder is pretty much just word of mouth. I know that one's a little difficult and iffy, but if you see someone with a dog, I guess like walking down the street or something, and you see someone with like a gorgeous Doberman, you can definitely ask them. Hopefully they're nice about it, like, you know, where'd you get your dog, da 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 da, and they'll probably tell you if it was a good or a bad experience. So word of mouth is something that's also really important. So I guess the top couple sources I would look for a reputable breeder, looking on all those websites that I mentioned, the Doberman Pinscher Club of America, the UDC website, the AKC also has like an AKC marketplace. However, I'm not sure of how great that website is for looking for puppies or just like available dogs or breeders in general. Also going and attending dog shows, talking to different breeders. You can meet a lot of breeders like via Instagram and stuff, and kind of like interview them via DMs, see if they're able to chat and talk with you, and pretty much just doing like owner diligence, doing your part, and, you know, hopefully finding the perfect Doberman puppy for you, or any dog at that fact. Alright guys, that is all for today's video, so I hope it was helpful for you guys. I know a lot of people have been requesting this one for quite some time now, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. Hope to talk to you guys soon, and also promise to upload a lot more consistently now that school's, I'm getting used to the groove of everything. So yeah, anyways, hope you guys have an amazing day. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.